Hey, my name is Jesus Castillo for RubyGuides.com, and today we're going to work on a Ruby challenge. Well, a coding challenge is not Ruby specific, but we're going to solve this in Ruby. And this from a website called Advent of Code that every year releases new challenges for Christmas, for December. And it's like a new challenge every day. And I want to show you how I go about solving these challenges, how I think through them. And hopefully that will help you also solve them yourself. So, because you will see my thinking process. So this is the first exercise you're seeing now in your screen, the day 1 exercise. And what I like to do is to start your reading. Don't worry too much trying to solve it already. It's going to take some time to parse, to understand what the problem is. So one way you can think about this like a math word problem, right? If you don't like math, don't worry. Just it's the idea of taking the problem description and getting information out of it, actual information that you need, like facts and the actual problems you're trying to solve. It's usually more than one problem. It's not just one problem. So pay attention for that, the sub-problems that I like to call. And that's what you're going to be doing on your program. So let's see what we have here. So we have apparently some kind of CAPTCHA that is required. And it says that the CAPTCHA requires to review a sequence of digits. So it looks like we need to work with some sequence of digits. Okay, well, that's good to know. And find the sum of all digits that match the next digit in the list. So that seems like one of the problems we need to solve. Then it also goes on to say the list is circular. So that's another a different problem from this problem. Can you see that? So finding the sum of all digits and the fact that the list is circular are different problems. At least to me. And then this match the next digit could also be like a different sub-problem. That matters because we're going to write tests for this, and every test is going to solve a different problem. And then at the end, we can combine them. We can combine the solutions for all of these things. And then we get our final result, which is the solution to this challenge. And then it goes on to say that the digit after the last digit is the first digit in the list. This really confused me at first, but when this happens, just let it simmer, or just let it in your mind. Let it thinking for a bit of time. So think about it. Don't just say, oh, I'm confused, I don't understand, and just gave up. Don't do that. It takes some time to actually understand these things. And what really helps is looking at examples. So we have some examples, and whenever you have some examples, this is really helpful, because you can check your knowledge of the problem. So it's very important. The number one thing you need to do. Some people tell me they don't know how to start with implementing the solution. Well, the first thing you need to do, number one, is to really understand what the problem is and what the rules are. So for that, if you have examples given to you, then we can analyze the examples. If you don't have examples, then your mission will be to create your own examples and then check them against the rules of the problem. And where those rules, the rules come from analyzing the description of the project. This could be not just a challenge, this could be an actual project you're working on. So it is applicable for different things. So let's go into the examples. It says 1, 1, 2, 2 produces a sum of 3, 1 plus 2 plus 2. Because the first digit 1 matches the second digit and the third digit matches the fourth digit. So this also confused me a little bit at the start. As you also need to let it, I guess, think about it. Don't worry too much. Just think about it. Look at the other examples and try to complete the understanding of the problem. Okay, so 1 plus 2. So that will be these two numbers. Then 1, 1, 1 produces 4 because each digit matches the next. Then this. Okay, so let's just do the next step, which I will do, is to write some test. So I like to use Minitest because you can very quickly set it up and run the test in the same file that you have your code. And this is useful if you're doing this kind of challenges that usually don't require multiple files, like in a Rails project or some other kind of bigger project, a gem, something like that. So we're going to require, we're going to require Minitest auto run. Then we're going to create a class. I'm going to call it test checksum. And then we're going to inherit from Minitest test. Then we're going to create a test, and that's just a method which has to start like this, test underscore. And I have a video about Minitest if you're not familiar with it, so go watch that. But right now, let's focus on this. What do we want to test first? Alright, let's see. How about starting with this one? So let's say that we want to find this out. How finding the match the next digit. So let's define a function that finds the digits that match the next digit. And that's the only thing we care about right now. So we can forget about sum of all digits. We can forget about least circular. That's problems that we're going to deal with later. Right now, let's do this, match the next digit. So for that, we're going to take this example. We're going to write our test find the next digit. Pretty simple. And then we're going to do assert equal. And we don't know what this is yet. So the syntax is expected value, and then the actual value. So we need our method here. Our method will be find the next digit. So you need to overthink these things. You can always change the names later if you want and things like that. So our input will be this number. And our output, well, what are we trying to do? Find the digits that match the next digit. So that will be, let's see, 1 and 2, right? Because 1 is matching 1 and 2 is matching 2. So that's my logic there. So if we do this right, we will take these numbers and find 1 and 2, because that's the digits that are matching. Okay, so let's run this. And of course, we get on the find method, find the next digit. So let's implement that. And run number of arguments. And we have a useful failure. Expected 1, 2, actual nil. So that's our output on the right panel. So now what do we do? Well, let's think about, right now our mission is to make this test pass. We can't forget about everything else. We just want this test to pass. That's our mission right now. And how do we get this test to pass? Well, we need to turn this number into this array. So let's take this input, which is this, and let's think about how do we do that. To find matching numbers, we probably need to convert this into a string so we can work with the digits of the number. So to do that, we can do digits. Well, in Ruby 2.4, there is a digits method, so we can use that. 1122.digits, and we can see 2211. The only problem is it reverses, and we don't want that in this case. So now if you look at the output, actually it says 1122, and that's what we want, the individual digits, so we can work with them to find the matching, find the next matching digit. And what we want to do next is to use these digits and use something like each const 2. I have a blog post about each const on rubyguides.com if you want to find that. Let's see. Now we can do this. We can open a block, AB. We can say something like A equals B. So what's this? Well, each const gives you groups of numbers. So we give us 1, 1, then 1, 2, then 2, 2. So let me show you that, and we can do that like that. As you can see, there on the right, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. That's exactly what you want. So we can compare the numbers, okay? So that's what's going on here. So now if we do this, and we add a select, we get the matching numbers. So you can see we get 1, 1, and we get 2, 2. That's the matching. So we're trying to match the number after if it's the same. So if it's 1 and 1, we want to match this. That's what part of the problem is. Match the next digit in the list. So what do we do next? Well, we still don't have the answer like we want. So let's work on that. What can we do? Let's see. Maybe we can do some kind of flatten. Like this, flatten. And then we can do unique. And, like that. Oh, we have a passing test. So that means we can move on into the next test. Okay. Let's see what the next test will be. Yes, so the next test will be this one. So we pick another of the examples. And let's pick this one first. And we're going to do the same thing. This has no matching digits. So we can return an empty array. And hold on. Yes, we need to change the name. Find the next digit. Let's just do 2. I don't like using numbers for like that. let's do find the next digit. No match. That's better. So what's going on here? Oh, we are hard coding the number, of course. There we go, passing test. That was easy. But how about this one? Well, let's see. I can see this, I can already see this might be a bit problematic. You will see why in a moment. So 1 1 1 1. You will think that the answer to this is 1, as you can see. But that's not the right answer. Why? Because now is when we keep in mind, when we remember ourselves about the other subproblems, which is find the sum of all digits, and also 1 1 1 1 produces 4, because each digit matches the next. So how is it going to produce 4 if we only have a 1, right? Because to solve this subproblem, sum of all digits, yes, it works for this. 1 plus 2 is 3, which you can see here. That works, but it doesn't work with this kind of solution. So for this, we need to change our test like this. So that's what we really want. So to do that, we need to change our code here. So we need to remove the unique, but that leaves us with repeats there. So what we need to return is not the pair of objects. We don't want both the numbers, we just want one of them. So we just want A or B, not both. So to do that, let's think about how we can do that. Maybe map is better for this. So we can do map. How about that? But this gives us true or false. So A if, okay, that does something. And instead of map, we can use flat map, and then we will need to compact to remove the nils. So you can see now we have an extra nil. So we're back to one passing test. Oh, and I need to change this, of course. Next digit, all match. Okay. So we have 2 passing tests. And now we are missing this. We're missing 1 1 in here. We are almost there. So why are we missing one of the ones? It should be 4. And it should be 4 because we are going to add them up to be 4, to become 4. So now is when we introduce another of the rules from this problem, and that's the list is circular. And the digit, now when this will make sense. The digit after the last digit is the first digit in the list. So what that really means is that the last number 1, I know that's a bit confusing, is going to be repeated again. It's going to on the front of the list. So one way we can simulate that is to take these digits and do something like digits. Since this is an array, we can do digits push digit.last. So what this does, it adds the last number 2 times. It repeats the number. So that gives it the circular effect. we got a problem because now we have this repeated. So I think this needs to go in the front of the list, not in the... So let's do unshift. There we go. So unshift puts this in the front of the list. Another way to do this is to do like digits equals, I think I like that more, digits dot last plus digits. Oh. What did we do? Alright. Oh, okay. So we do that. Seems to be like that. So that's another way to do the same. So that's that. Now we can proceed to the next part. Since we got here, we already got like 90% of this problem solved. Just by solving the main problem, which is finding the next digit, and then adding more layers, adding more rules into this problem by writing more tests and reading the examples. We are already 90% done. The only thing we need to do is to find the sum of all digits, which will be pretty easy. So for that, let's write another test. Test find the sum of all digits. Then we do assert equal. Assert equal. And let's take, always, if you are given examples, always use the examples for your test. So you are going to be sure that you are correct. And you can add more examples of your own. But as your base, use the examples given to you. That way you can be sure you are correct. So let's try this one. 3 for sum of all matching digits 1, 1, 2, 2. Now we're going to get the error we want on the find method. So that just means we need to create the method, give it an argument, expected free, actual nil. And this now becomes super easy because we already have the hard work done by this method. So let's use this method and then do inject. Since what we get back is an array, we can use the inject method. Inject plus. So that's sum. And test is passing. So that's good. Let's try with this one, which looks more complicated. Test find the sum of I digits, circular. I notice circular because this 9 and 9. And the expected for that is 9. Sum of our matching digits, and the number is this. This should pass, and it's passing. So we're done. When you use, when you have test for all of the examples, and you are covering all of the rules, you are done. And if you did this do this in your own, and it works, good job. That's great. You need to practice, not just watch the video. And if you are logged into the website, it will give you another longer number to check. You will be able to get a much bigger number to throw into your program. And since you know it's working, just get the number and put it in the little input box, I will tell you that's the correct solution. Congratulations. Right? So that's how you do this. And that's my process to solving these kind of challenges. Hope you found that useful. Thanks a lot for watching. Visit my website rubyguides.com for more Ruby tutorials. And also subscribe to the channel so you can get more Ruby content. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in another video.